Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Recycled Content, a podcast of the Association of Plastic Recyclers, an international nonprofit and the only North American organization focused exclusively on improving recycling for plastics. I'm Kara Pochiro, and I'll be your host today. Launched in celebration of the 30th anniversary of the APR Design Guide for Plastics Recyclability, the inaugural APR Recycling Leadership Awards recognize packaging designers, manufacturers, researchers, or innovators who are improving recycling for plastics. Winners were announced during the Plastic Recycling Conference earlier this year with award categories that focus on unique contributions moving plastics recycling forward, including outstanding leadership, recycling technology innovation, package design innovation, and PCR utilization. We'll have each of our winners on the podcast, and today we're talking with Meredith Boyd of Unifi, who is the winner of the Recycling Technology Innovation Award. Let me tell you a little bit about Meredith. She is the Executive Vice President and Chief Product Officer at Unifi. She leads global innovation and business development, including product development, technology, commercialization, marketing, and communications. She's responsible for driving business growth, product, and process innovation across Unifi's global network of assets and partnerships. Meredith joined Unifi in 2007 and has held several instrumental roles in the organization's growth. As Senior Vice President, Sustainability, Technology, and Innovation, she led the launch of product and capability differentiation through the lenses of sustainability and performance. As Vice President of Brand Sales, she drove strategic solutions for brand and retail customers worldwide. In heading the Global Business Development Group, she focused on capability expansion, technology transfer, and strategic cooperative ventures. Meredith is an authority in the fields of textile chemistry, recycling, and scaling sustainable technology, speaking regularly at consortiums worldwide. She also sits on the board of directors for the Synthetic Yarn and Fabric Association and the Textile Technology Center Advisory Council. Thanks so much to Meredith for joining us today.
Well, thank you, Kara, for having me on this episode. I'm excited to talk about recycling for plastics and beyond.
Before we dive into Unifi's technology that won the award that we're talking about today, I'd like to start off by asking you what initially sparked your interest in recycling and sustainability?
Kara, I joined Unifi at a really exciting time. It was 2007, and the company was just pivoting from a focus on commodity materials, commodity synthetic yarn products, polyesters and nylons, into a focus on our recycled platform, REPREVE. We launched REPREVE in 2007, and so I saw this amazing opportunity to join a company that was focused on innovation and sustainability and propelling that forward.
Very exciting time to join Unifi. And REPREVE, as you mentioned, is Unifi's recycling technology innovation that did receive the very first APR Recycling Leadership Award in that category. It leverages multiple sources into several different sustainable fibers. Tell us about your process, starting with when recyclables are picked up to the variety of new products that they become.
For our REPREVE platform, we focus on a number of different waste feedstock materials. When we first started manufacturing REPREVE, we focused heavily on post-industrial yarn waste and a small amount of post-consumer packaging like plastic bottles. But as we've grown REPREVE, both in the Americas as well as globally, we've seen an increase in the amount of post-consumer plastic that is able to be transformed through our REPREVE recycling process into REPREVE yarn. And most recently, we've of course emphasized our ability to use our textile take-back process to transform textile waste materials into REPREVE take-back products. When we have our REPREVE recycling process, our focus is ensuring that we maintain and build the physical properties of the polymer while also lending our proprietary IP to areas like the filtration characteristics of the polymer.
A lot goes into this, and it's great to hear that you expanded into a lot of post-consumer plastics as well. As we all know in the industry, this is where we really need that boost, those products that consumers take home and then put into their recycling program. You do take back those bottles, among other things that you mentioned as well.
Yes, that's right, Kara. And we're able to bring bottles back into our North Carolina bottle processing facility. We opened that facility in 2016. So that allows us to bring bottles in and produce our own clean washed flake.
That's great to hear. Unifi has pioneered both textile science and textile to textile recycling. And today your company offers a diverse lineup of recycled fibers as well. Can you walk us through the differentiators and the variety of recycled materials that you've been able to utilize beyond what you've already mentioned?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the REPREVE platform does start with our classic REPREVE product offering that focuses on post-consumer plastic bottles as the feedstock. Our REPREVE Recirculate offering is a combination of post-industrial yarn waste and also our post-consumer plastic. REPREVE Take Back is our product line made from 100% recycled materials, but where at least 50% of those recycled materials are coming from textile waste products. REPREVE Our Ocean includes plastic bottles that are collected within 50 kilometers of coastlines in high-risk regions, and it's designed to prevent ocean-bound plastic waste from entering waterways and creating sustainable livelihoods in developing communities. We also recently introduced our ThermaLoop insulation. This is a high-performance insulation product that's made through that textile take-back process that I mentioned, using both pre- and post-consumer textile waste materials. All of our REPREVE fibers are certified through our U-Trust certification system. That helps to confirm the recycled content, and it's leveraging our FiberPrint tracer technology that's part of every pound of resin or fiber that we produce, allowing us to confirm the presence of REPREVE and complement it with all of our other materials like our life cycle analyses.
And that certification is so important that you can confirm the sources of this material, because unfortunately you do hear about some companies making some misleading claims. Certification really proves that those are post-consumer sources as well as some of the other sources you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely, Kara. And really, it's about that transparency through traceability and then further validation through metrics like life cycle analyses that help to validate the environmental impact benefits of choosing a recycled product over a virgin one.
Exactly. We talk about that life cycle analysis all the time. We have a study available on our website that shows the vast environmental benefits of choosing recycled materials over virgin materials. That's also important to note. I know I have seen a lot of the REPREVE products on the shelves in many stores that I have gone to for clothing, jeans, shoes. Any other examples you could give us of some of the products that are made with the REPREVE materials that people might see in the store today?
Yeah, I mean, we're broadly available across apparel and footwear applications. We can be found across many different prominent brands and retailers. You can find REPREVE products in your favorite home stores as well. If you check out Pottery Barn's website, you'll see REPREVE is cited there. But many of the great outdoor brands are also providing our products and really seeing that empowerment through the REPREVE brand.
Lots of different products you can purchase of all different categories made with REPREVE, and you can feel confident that those are made with these recycled materials that Meredith mentioned. We always love to hear about these types of innovations. What do you see as the motives for driving new innovations like REPREVE and others in textile recycling technologies to bring us full circle?
Yeah, innovation in textile recycling is really driven by a need to reduce waste, find routes to cut carbon emissions, and meet the need that consumers and brands are really pushing to say we want circular solutions. But what we see as our role at Unifi and through our REPREVE platform is to help brands and retailers really take responsibility for the products they're creating, for the impact of those products, and even for their own supply chain waste. And by ensuring that we can recycle all of these different waste materials, we're meeting that need with these brands and retailers. And textile recycling is not downcycling. When we're taking textile materials, we're transforming those into high performance fibers for apparel, for the automotive industry, for furnishings. It is so valuable and certainly provides a longevity in that next life that will be loved and utilized for many years. So that truly circular economy, it relies on diverse markets that give materials multiple lives and multiple forms. And REPREVE is built to be able to handle this diverse number of different feedstocks so that it can be transformed in a REPREVE product. Kara, we also see changing legislation and EPR as having an impact on what will be the needs and the growth for textile technologies for recycling going forward.
Right. Obviously, policy drives change in this space, and we are seeing more of these laws pass across the states every day with EPR growing and other policies as well. And I'm also so glad that you mentioned downcycling. People seem to use that as kind of a negative thing or derogatory term, that it's not as good as bottle to bottle recycling or plastics or other items being recycled back into the same thing. We have to have these diverse markets to build a robust recycling infrastructure in this country. We have to have all different types of products that recycled plastics and textiles and other materials can go into. Downcycling is a term that we hear a lot. I always get very frustrated when I hear that. And I say, guys, we have to have these diverse markets. We have to have all different types of products that things can be recycled into. And many of them are very long lasting products. Whereas if it went straight back into a bottle, that's something that can be recycled, of course, again and again, but it's used quickly and put back into the recycling stream, hopefully. Your company has been doing this for quite some time at scale. You mentioned that you joined Unifi in 2007, right, when they were launching REPREVE. What do you see as some of your key challenges lying ahead?
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges that we see in the continuing future is really that scaling of textile to textile recycling in a way that's both economically viable and globally accessible. So the infrastructure when it comes to collecting, sorting, and processing textile waste is still catching up. It's not where packaging waste is just yet. And there will have to be greater collaboration across industries in order to build that. There's also a need to shift mindsets, and it's going back to seeing waste not as the end, but as that beginning. It really becomes that designing for circularity as a mindset change. So the good news is we, through REPREVE and REPREVE Take Back, we've proven it can be done. And now it's really about pushing innovation forward and bringing more partners into that collaboration for the circular economy.
Exactly. A lot of those things that people consider waste are actually a valuable feedstock for the types of products that you've been talking about today. And textile recycling is emerging and it's a growing space. We actually had a whole new track at the Plastic Recycling Conference focused on textile recycling. And we were really pleased to see the attention that track got and a lot of people very interested in seeing the growth in this space. Unifi is an active member of APR. And as I mentioned in your bio, you also sit on the board of directors for the Synthetic Yarn and Fabric Association, which is SYFA, and the Textile Technology Center, TTC Advisory Council. Tell us a little bit about these other organizations you're involved in and the importance of getting involved. This is something that we talk about all the time on the podcast, how important it is to get involved in organizations like APR and the others that you're involved in. So tell us a little bit about those.
Oh, absolutely. So the Synthetic Yarn and Fabric Association, SYFA, is a nonprofit organization, and it represents over 265 individual and corporate members across the United States and also globally. And they're all affiliated with synthetic yarn, fiber, and fabric. And the SYFA serves as an industry advocate and working to support the success of these companies that are involved in synthetic textiles, provides a professional network. We host 2 conferences a year to provide information to our members about technical developments, changes in policy, and it's a knowledge hub. It's about sharing insights, about troubleshooting, talking about what the industry as a whole needs to not only survive, but certainly thrive in the future. And it's an industry organization that's been around since the 1970s and has just continued to evolve to meet the needs of what is a very strong industry for synthetic textiles here in the Americas. The Textile Technology Center is part of Gaston College, which is in Belmont, North Carolina, and is actually part of the North Carolina Community College system. This center is very unique. It has a couple of key areas that it supports. One is it's an industry support hub. So the center actually provides technical services, including product prototyping, sample production, and analytical testing to fiber producers, textile and apparel manufacturers. But it also has a strong focus as part of the community college system on workforce development. So the center offers industry training and education. They have a very robust Textile 101 program to really look at training students who are coming through the community college system and pursuing careers in textiles, and also folks out of industry who want to learn more about a lot of the systems and processes that are relied on in this industry. And earlier this year, the center opened its Fiber Innovation Center on the Kimbrell campus. And this is a nearly 40,000 square foot facility, and it's a first of its kind technology hub for developing various fibers, polymers, and other needs that the industry really sees as being valuable. So it's designed to serve everyone from startups to global brands. But industry organizations as a whole, Kara, I think they have such a key role in being a beacon of education, support, policy guidance for its members, as well as the industries they serve as a whole. So it's really an honor to get to work with several different industry organizations.
Yeah, you're a part of a diverse group there. So many opportunities for collaborating with your industry peers. Sometimes people see, oh, this is my competition, but this is where you can really learn and grow. And also great to hear reaching out to the students, because they're the future of this industry and they're where we're going to grow the most. What's next on the horizon for Unifi? What are some things you're looking forward to?
Well, you will continue to see Unifi focus on all things recycled. And again, for us, it's about being able to leverage that diversity of feedstock and transform many different plastic feedstock materials, textile waste feedstock materials into new REPREVE and REPREVE take-back products. So we will continue to invest in building that truly circular economy and empowering that for brands, retailers, and ultimately the consumer. So we'll be continuing to look for those strategic collaborations and partnerships and fueling innovation to make sure it's a reality and can be available globally at scale and now, so that all of these products can be utilized. But we're excited about breakthroughs that'll just continue to enable us to recycle more types of waste materials, further reduce the environmental impact versus using virgin products, and support brands as they close that loop. You'll also see us continue to emphasize other performance technologies. So for us, it's not just about performance or having a sustainable offering, it's about both. And lastly, I would say look for us continuing to grow in new markets, emphasizing our ability to go into packaging materials, nonwovens applications, other areas.
Sounds good. We definitely look forward to seeing more from Unifi and your REPREVE product as well. Finally, to wrap up today, any advice for our listeners or those that may be new to plastics, textiles, and the recycling industry?
Ultimately, it is the right thing to do. And the data backs that up, that this is a way to reduce one's environmental impact. But start with where you are. Small positive changes can make a big difference. Choosing a recycled material, choosing a product that is made with recycled materials, that's a very sizable part of the environmental footprint of that article. It does matter. And rethink your supply chain. Think about ways to incorporate materials that are like REPREVE. They are drop-in replacements for virgin materials, and they don't require performance compromise. Educate others where you have a passion about recycling being the right thing. Educate others and help to eliminate a lot of those stigmas of the why we can't, because there are plenty of materials that are available today that deliver on the performance needs very effectively. And whether it helps to reduce carbon emissions or helps work toward a sustainable future in terms of bringing a new process to scale, all of these things do make a big difference. REPREVE has really existed to empower brands and ultimately the people who choose to source from those brands to be better and to change mindset, to really think better. But more than anything, it does take collaboration. And I know we're proud to be a part of that, but it will continue to take a lot in the future as well.
All great tips and advice for those who might be new to the industry or those looking to get more involved. All of those things are so important, and all messages that we share with Unifi at APR as well. So important to not only recycle, but to buy recycled too. Look for those labels that say they're made with REPREVE and made with recycled plastics, made with recycled textiles. These are all really important things. Great tips and messages for that. Thanks so much to Meredith for joining us today. Anything else you want to add before we close out today?
Oh, thank you, Kara. It has been wonderful to spend this time with you today. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone for listening. For more information about the APR Recycling Leadership Awards, the APR Design Guide, and much more, visit the APR website at plasticsrecycling.org. Check us out on LinkedIn, Facebook, and X at APR Recycles. And we want to hear from you. So please feel free to contact APR at info@plasticsrecycling.org for more information or any ideas you might have for this podcast. You can find recycled content wherever you get your podcasts. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review.